Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow.
Okay, good. Okay. So Basil, what do you want me to do with these feathers? The heck you want me to do? The heck? Oh, I see. I understand. You want me to monkey around a little bit, huh? Is that what it is? Oh, I see. You just want me to monkey around a little bit. Okay. Well, we're going to have to start the show pretty soon, so I can't be doing this for too long, Oh. Okay, pre-show calling. Okay. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Present. Can I help you? Basil? It's Wayne LaPierre. That's right, the same one. The president of the National Rifle Association. Okay. Yes, Mr. LaPierre. Would you like to add something to our show? You can call back in a little bit later and weigh in on the gun issue. He's got a quote, Basil. He's got a quote from the January 31st testimony he gave to Congress. And that quote is, okay, let me make sure I get it right, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, and we'll get it corrected. Let's not talk about background checks, because background checks will never be universal as long as I get my way. I think that's what he said. Okay. Well, thanks so much. We'll try to get you in this show a little bit later. Okay. Well, we've got to get going pretty soon now. Okay. This is the last one. We've got to get going with the show. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Oh. Basil? This caller identifies himself as being Wayne LaPierre, 1999. I don't quite get that. Okay. He's got a quote. This Wayne LaPierre says he's the real Wayne LaPierre. And he has a quote from testimony he gave before Congress, May 28, 1999, Basil. Okay. I'll thank you. Well, let's take your quote. We think it's reasonable to require mandatory instant criminal background checks for every sale, including gun show sales. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to figure out who the real. Now, this is not Mitt Romney, is it? Because we know Mitt Romney, we get quotes from all over the place about every issue, on every point of view on every issue, and then some. Okay. Alrighty. Welcome to Basil BuddhaCat Presents. My name is David Stevenson. I'm Basil's co-host, interpreter, and chief gopher. Now, tonight we're expecting some very interesting call-ins, as we usually get. So let's just start the discussion where we're discussing gun control. We're going to try to get call-ins from Wayne LaPierre. We have a call-out, a shout-out to Wayne. And you never know who we're going to hear from. That's the key. Okay? Basil, there's our first call-in. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. May we help you? Basil. It's Ted Nugent. Thank you for calling in, Mr. Nugent. Do you have something to add to the show? Basil, he says that if the government, or as he says, the government is allowed to take away high-powered automatic weapons, then the next thing you know, they'll be taking away his bow and arrow. Well, I'm not sure you can. Not sure you can quite. Oh, we hung up. Okay. Okay, so let's wait for some other caller. Oh, okay. Cheers. That's a good idea, Basil. It's a really good idea to have these available because it's tiring talking for a half an hour. I know you certainly are nonstop, Mr. Chatterbox. Oh, also on the show we want to talk about. Let's see. Now we've been talking a little bit about Mitt Romney lately, and we took our Scrabble board out and we came up with some interesting words which we got out of the name Willard Romney. Of course, Willard Romney is Mitt Romney's real name. One of the things you can derive out of Willard Romney is man lied. Okay? Another one for you comic strip buffs, Merry Waldo. Merry, Waldo. Okay? For you folks that think he's a little rough around the edges on the military, my line, warlord. And for those of us that are looking for key points to his failed campaign, 3 words: money, war, drill. And I think that's a reference to the now famous "drill baby drill" quotation. Okay. Well, let's see if we can. What, Basil? Okay, you want me to actually quote you and then translate your response to these callers in. Okay? Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Basil, it's Ted Nugent again. And I'm going to quote him now. If you take away my high-powered automatic weapons, the next thing you'll be taking away is my pea shooter. Okay. You know, Basil's going to respond to that, Mr. Nugent. He's got something. He's got a thought he wants to add to the discussion. Okay, I'm going to quote him first. Well. Okay, and that translates out as get lost, buddy. Oh, I think he may have hung up. Okay. Or, as you suggested, he got lost. Okay, now we're going to talk a little further about this. These 2 quotations that we got. We got the 2 callers in before the show was on. I'm not sure if we caught them on camera, but we got a call in from a fellow by the name of Wayne LaPierre who wanted to quote something he told Congress on January 31st during his testimony. He said, "Let's not talk about background checks because background checks will never be universal." Okay? And we found a quote from, actually we found it through our friend John Stewart, a quote from Wayne LaPierre testifying before Congress in 1999, 5 years after the Brady Bill had been instituted and 5 years before the Brady Bill sunsetted. That's to say it's no longer in play because in 2004 it sunsetted and Congress did not continue it. May 28, 1999. This is a quote. "We think it's reasonable to require mandatory background checks, instant criminal background checks, for every sale, even at gun shows." Okay? Now these 2 things seem to conflict with one another. Okay? Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Yes? Basil, I think it's your grandma. Oh, okay, yeah. Basil, it is your grandma. And she, well, say it in cat first and then translate it for the audience. She wants to add something to the discussion.
Yeah.
And that translates out as, I've climbed a tree and I can't get down. Okay, well, what do you want us to do, Grandma? Basil says, she'll find a way. Don't worry about her. She's good. She'll be fine. Okay. Basil, she wants to add one more thought. Okay, I'll quote her first. Boom. And for the audience, that translates out as, Basil, you're out of the will, buddy. Okay. Basil says, don't worry about it. He's been in and out of the will so many times. Besides, Granny's 28 years old now, and she's got plenty of life left in her. So he's... Oh, God, she did get down. Safely, I hope. Okay. Okay. Let's continue the discussion. I'm sure there's other people who would like to weigh in on this gun discussion. But, okay. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Could this be our regular phone guest, Elsie? Basil, it is Elsie. It is. Okay. Okay, Elsie, you have something to add to this? Okay, Elsie said she's seen cows who were slaughtered at the farm she lives at. She's seen them slaughtered with regular handguns, regular pistols. She's seen them slaughtered with hunting rifles, and she's seen them slaughtered with AK-47s. And she says the pistols work just as well, thanks. Okay, thanks for calling, Elsie. Okay. Okay, well, here we are in between calls. Okay. Okay, so I'll make sure the phone was hung up properly. So, Basil, what do you have to say about all this? I mean, what's your thought about gun safety? Okay, I'm going to quote for the audience. I'm going to quote Basil first, then I'll translate. Okay, and that translates out into English. Now, kids, remember, Basil's been trying to get you to learn to speak cat. And it is... Oh, hold on. Good afternoon, and thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents.
Hi, this is Elsie's cousin Daisy.
This is Elsie's... Basil, it's Elsie's cousin Daisy. We've not heard from Daisy before.
Yeah,
Okay, Daisy, you have something to add to this?
Yeah, when they slaughter us, they don't really use guns. They use what is called a bolt gun. They don't shoot regular bullets.
A bolt gun. Okay. Okay.
It's more humane in the human's eyes.
Okay. It's Daisy, Elsie's cousin, and Daisy's correcting Elsie on the notion of the slaughter of cows at down on the farm. She says they don't use guns at all, actually, Daisy says. Daisy says they use a bolt gun, was it, Daisy?
Yes, that or they electrify them.
And that, what does that do? It unleashes like a electric shock?
Yes, it will short out the brain and then poof, they're dead.
Oh, so it shorts out the brain, so they die quickly. Now, is there any rigor mortis or any kind of twitching afterwards to show that there might be activity still in the brain?
There usually is activity still in the brain for a few minutes until the internal brain battery dies out.
The internal brain battery. Well, I'll tell you what. You cows have something more than humans have, because I don't think we have any internal brain battery. But so Basil, Daisy says that the cow will twitch for a couple of minutes until what Daisy calls the internal brain battery dies.
Yeah, that's why it's always moving.
Say that again. Moozing? I heard moozing somewhere.
The battery is to make us move more.
The battery is a method by which you moo more.
Yes, move more.
Oh, move or moo?
Yes, move.
Yes, move. Okay. No, moo. Yes, move.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that begs the question: have you ever seen a cow that was mauve?
No. I don't think I have seen a mauve move.
Okay, now Daisy's adding that she's never seen a mauve cow move, but she has seen, in fact, a cow jumping over the moon.
Yes. Actually, that cow that's up above your head right now. The moon that's up above your head right now.
The moon above my head?
Yes.
There's a cow. I've seen a monkey jump over that moon. A monkey cat, but I've never seen a cow jump over that.
Maybe the meatloaf has jumped over it a couple of times. I'm not quite sure.
Now, when you say the meatloaf, she says, Daisy says, maybe the meatloaf has jumped over it on occasion. Now, when she says the meatloaf, I think she's probably referring to the one that the Walter calls that other cat. And that's Lilith. That's Lilith, the other cat in the household. Now, I tell you, Basil's pretty tolerant to put up with two other cats hanging around this place, but the way he puts it, like any other, like everybody else, these cats are expendable. They could be sent packing at any moment, just like his co-host. Basil says, "Yeah, who needs a co-host? I can do this show without you." Now, Basil asks, and you can always tell when cats are asking a question because their whiskers twitch 3 times when they're done. He's asking, is the show pretty close to being 25 minutes? Not even close? 17 minutes? Okay. Okay, thanks for calling in, Daisy, and enlightening us on that. That little factoid about moving and mooing and mobbing and queeging and quagging and cooging. Okay, thanks. Okay, so Basil, do you know Daisy? Basil says, which translates out as, yep. Oh, look, we have another guest. Look at this. Look at this. We have, okay, this is Meatloaf, but we also call her Lilith. Lilith, you're on camera. Basil, is it okay for Lilith to make a guest appearance on the show? Basil says, which means, go ahead. The show's shot anyway, pretty much. Okay, well, we need to get back to our subject at hand, and that's gun control. Hello. Oh, must have been somebody named Nick. Okay, we gotta clear out that line. Hello? Basil BuddhaCat presents. Okay. Basil, it's Elsie again. And Elsie says, yeah, Daisy's right. Daisy's right. Believe it or not, this time Daisy's right. And, K. 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 So how about that, Basil? Okay, thanks for calling in. Elsie. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Whew. I'm going to need a little bit more of this. Ah, that's good. Oh. Okay. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Basil? It's Supreme Court Justice, Chief Justice John Roberts. Okay. Okay, thank you for calling in, Chief Justice Roberts. Just something to add to the show? Okay. Chief Justice Roberts says, you better watch out because there's a cat over your head. And if it's Ted Nugent's cat, you might get cat scratch fever. Is that, Basil, is that real? Is there really such a thing as cat scratch fever? Okay, just hold on a second. I want to get Basil who wants to weigh in on this. Okay. Okay, Basil's saying. Okay, I'll quote him first. Okay, and now I'll translate for you folks in the audience that are hold on. Yes, there is such a thing as cat scratch fever, but let me get it in. Let me get it now. And Basil's reminding you kids, this is important, that you need to learn to speak cat, because there are a lot of households in America that speak a different language other than English. Not as a primary language, but as a secondary language. And, you have a lot of houses where Italian is spoken. You have a lot of houses where Portuguese is spoken. A lot of houses where Ecuadorian is spoken. And a lot of houses where Irish is spoken. But all of those houses added together don't come close to the number of houses where cat is spoken. So Basil's saying, hey kids, get on the stick and learn the language of your cat, so you can seem a little bit more intelligent than you humans normally are. Okay, and with that, Chief Justice Roberts, did you have something you wanted to add? Okay, he's saying, Basil, that there's only 2 minutes left in the show, so we better wrap it up. Okay, thank you for calling in. We'll try to get you on a future show. Thank you, Chief Justice Roberts. Thanks for calling in, Basil. The Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Bye. Okay. Well, that was a pretty non-eventful show. Do you think maybe we can get the monkey cat in a future show, Basil? Okay. Okay. Well, that's all for now. Good night.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, Meow.